I'm Bricker, let's finish playing Mega Man Powered Up. There's one costume that we have not yet used. It is Halloween Roll, where she dresses up like an adorable little witch. And here's actually a bit of trivia that you probably don't know, but there's a game on the NES called the Wherein Conquest, which is about a witch who like flies around on a broom, and she has a fire attack and an ice attack. And the original Mega Man 1 was a complete and utter ripoff of this game in every way, shape, or form. I mean, it's not even... I mean, it was better. I mean, it played better and controlled better and was more fun. But the basic premise of the game and the style and like even the way the life bars looked on screen, exactly like Mega Man 1. So, you probably didn't know that the whole Mega Man series is a giant ripoff of this other game. So here's the thing. There must have been like litigation or something because Capcom agreed. Because Mega Man, of course, went on to be a very popular video game franchise in the Wherein Conquest. It's not even easy to say. It's like that's why people didn't like it. You can't even pronounce the game. How are you going to like, recommend it to people? But it didn't go on to become very popular. And, of course, it wasn't. So they said, you know, okay, if you ever remake a Mega Man, you just have to include our little witch character. What's her name? Francesca, I think? But you have to include her as a playable character in the game. And, of course, they like quickly went out of business. Oh, good, I made that jump. Hardest jump in the game. Whew, I've been sweating that all day. But yeah, they went out of business, and I guess they like... What was that? What was that ridiculous nonsense? That was crap. Oh, shenanigans. But anyway, they're out of business by the time that Powered Up came out, so I guess Capcom didn't have to adhere to the letter of the law or anything, so... Instead of including Francesca or whatever her name was, they just included Roll dressed like her. Which is, I mean, hilarious. It's a great insult. I love it. So, one last topic I kind of wanted to talk about when it comes to Powered Up specifically is I was very wary of it when it was announced because, I mean, every time you have a 2D game built out of 3D graphics like this, I'm very wary because usually you have to sacrifice a lot in terms of play control when you do that kind of game, a 2D game in 3D graphics, and that, almost not even standing on that platform. That's crazy. And what I mean by that is, in order to be successful at a platformer, I really have to be able to count pixels. I have to be able to know exactly where my character's standing. I have to have complete control over, yes, where he's moving at all times. And the original Mega Man games and a lot of 8-bit platformers give you that control that you need. It's very good. And I was worried that Powered Up wouldn't, because some of the, like, Mega Man X games don't, even on the PlayStation, that you don't have that kind of control because the world is very contiguous. It's not made out of blocks like this, where you can see individual tiles on the screen. But Powered Up is, and it's very apparent if you go into the level editor and start looking at the blocks and things, but it's very easy to always tell where you're standing, and there's never a question of how far you can jump or where you can jump to. So I was very relieved that they maintained that old school play control that I really enjoy in this remake, because a lot of remakes like that don't have that kind of they don't have that kind of precision. So I really appreciated that. Now, Roll's broom has a special property that only comes out against this Wily bot here, that it causes the bot to recoil. So if you time it perfectly, the bot can never get an attack off on you. Perfectly is kind of outside of my vocabulary in this Let's Play, so it's going to be interesting to see how well I do. But in theory, at least, you should be able to get him without ever suffering an attack in retaliation. But I mean, the timing's got to be perfect, because you've got to hit him as soon as his invincibility wears off. Come on. And the big problem with Wily is he will use all 8 Robot Master weapons on you in this fight, and if some of them that he chooses to use, especially in his second form, you really have no recourse against it. The fight becomes very difficult. So it is kind of luck-based in that sense. And if I was Roll, I would just go over and beat him to death right now with his big bald head working on his robot. But, you know, Roll's not that smart. She's 6, so... Okay, so it's really going to come down to what weapons he decides to use. Oh, Oil Slick is the worst, too. Oh my god, and he just fires them over and over. It's like, you might as well not even try to dodge me. You cannot run. Oh, that sucked. No, bombs actually are not that bad. Unless you walk into them like I just did. Use time slow, dude. Just use time slow over and over. Be a deer, would you? Ah. So yeah, that did not go my way. I got one more chance before I have to replay the stupid level. Usually I have one more life against Wily than I do. Usually I get one more try against it, but no, had to jump on some spikes. You know, sometimes I just gotta follow my muse, and my muse was like, dude, spikes, they're right there. I was like, yeah, I hear you, brother. I wonder how many people actually die on spikes. Like in the real world, how many people actually are impaled to death like that? Oh, he got 2 hits on me because it was not fair. If that he had fired anything but rolling cutter there, I would have only taken 1 hit. That sucked. Much like my life. And this whole video series, apparently. And it's awesome because right now in the comments there's somebody correcting me about that whole Cryon Conquest nonsense. It's not. It's like Mega Man was not really a ripoff of Cryon Conquest. That's nonsense. The reason I just said that early in the video was because I knew somebody would take it seriously and call me out for it in the comments, and then obviously they didn't watch the rest of the video, so they don't see the retraction of it here. Not fair. Oh god, Ice Slasher. It's actually one of the easier ones to dodge. No! Oh, one more hit! What is that attack? Is that his... that Thunder Beam or something? No, Thunder Beam's not pink. I've never seen him do that. Okay. I don't know, maybe Thunder Beam is pink for exactly 1 frame before it fires? Who knows? This is actually a very annoying level. Not because it's difficult, because it's really not. And you get a big energy ball at the midpoint of it or so. But just because you've got to fight all the way through it to get a chance to make that extremely difficult jump. You know, the one that I made and then decided to jump on spikes anyway because that's awesome and I'm hilarious. But it's like fighting through this little corridor every single time you die or get a game over is not fun. I mean, the corridor is kind of fun, but because it's purple and kind of weird looking, and then it's got this creepy looking grindy teeth skull guy in the background, and that dude's awesome. I invited him to my birthday, but I'm just kidding. I don't have a birthday. I was hatched from an egg. Not like a real egg, like one of those little plastic eggs like you get in a grocery store vending machine. That's where I came from. Roots! Hate those spikes. I don't hate. I could never stay mad at those spikes. I don't want to be in this level. I just want to go fight Wily over and over until I win against him. But I don't want to farm free guys again. Wouldn't that be awful, having 2 of the exact same video where it's just Iceman going through and yeah, you don't want to watch that again. That's ridiculous. Chances are you didn't watch it the first time. I mean, statistically speaking, there's probably no way you looked at that and watched it all the way through. I mean, I wouldn't have. I mean, I love watching Let's Plays on YouTube and other video sites, but it's like, man, if I get an episode of a Let's Play that's boring, I skip it. Because really, dude, whatever you're saying is not that interesting. Like, I can't even watch my own Let's Plays, and I'm a huge egoist. Like, I can... Basically, what I do in my spare time is sit around and read my own website with a giant grin on my face. No, I landed on it! That's not fair! I called double shenanigans on that. That was shenanigans twice. That was shenanigans. That's a word. I just said it, and I can't unsay it, and you're just gonna have to live with it now. This level sucks, and it's not fun. And you know what? This is probably the only stage in the game I think the original Mega Man 1 had a better design for. Because in the original game, this level was like a mass production Gutsman factory. It was like there was 400 Gutsman robots all up in the ceiling over there, and it was very creepy. It was like a Gutsman assembly line. I guess the idea being that Wily didn't need to steal Dr. Light's robots anymore because now he figured out how to build them from the plans or whatever. Oh, that's not fair! You know what? And I know what my problem is. My problem is that I lose my courage right at the end of that jump and I try to change directions thinking that I'm going to overshoot. But you kind of have to follow the jump through. You really have to hold the jump all the way to the end. It's like my brain knows this, but my fingers are like, no, I am much smarter than your brain. And usually, and I'll be honest, when I'm talking about playing old video games, usually my fingers are right. Honestly, it really is. But in this case, it's kind of an optical illusion. My brain is being tricked into thinking a jump is not safe when it is. I don't know how I keep landing on the very last pixel of that block. That's kind of impressive. And I hate that I can't get that free guy. Because I would love to get that free guy. Oh, I did it again! I did it freaking again. You know what would have been great would be a checkpoint after all these little robot guys and before the spike section. That would have been really helpful. Oh, octo batteries. I just walked into that one. And I don't know why. I didn't have a good reason to. I'm a rebel, though. I'm actually just prolonging the end of this Let's Play because I like the noise Roll makes when she jumps. It's very, very adorable. In fact, I'm going to set it as my ringtone. I'm not going to do that. That would be absolutely ridiculous. Brickroad, what are you talking about? Ah, see? That time I made it because I went ahead and jumped all the way through and landed on the platform. But I'm still only going to get 2 shots against Dr. Wily. It really just comes down to whether or not he likes to use good weapons. The very first time I fought him as Roll, he used time slow over and over and over, and the fight was just ridiculously easy. But he did not grant me that, the next few times I fought him, and it was very, very difficult. But I will get him eventually, and we'll see the ending of this game. Brickroad, why do you Let's Play games you're not good at? Because, viewer... masochism. Pure and simple. I like hurting myself. Not fair. Not fair again. Sloppiest fight ever. And you kind of do have to reposition yourself because he does advance a little tiny bit after every hit, and eventually he'll just run into you. I mean, unless you're perfect and you can keep him in one place, but I'm not perfect. The only place I'm perfect is... I can't tell you because my wife would get mad at me. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It's the kitchen. Not fair. Maybe I should stand back until I see what weapon he's going to use. Oh, I hate this one though. I don't have any idea how to dodge all of these. It's like they're gonna catch you in midair, and eventually you're gonna hit the ground and slip. There's just really no safe spot to stand or be during that. I have to kill him this time. I have to. It is in my blood to kill him on this moment. Or I'll have to play the level again, and everybody will laugh at me, and it'll be just like school again. Warning. I once spent the night in my locker. That's how bad high school was for me. And I live in Florida, so we don't have the Florida ceiling lockers. Like, they stack those suckers like 3 high. They had to fold me in half. Which is an amazing feat of dexterity, don't get me wrong. It's just, damn it, he used the easiest to dodge attack and I still got hit. Because I'm talking some nonsense about lockers and not paying attention to the boss. Well, c'est la vie. I don't know what that means. I think it's a French expletive, actually. I think it means something very rude indeed. Hey, Dr. Wily, kiss my c'est la vie. It would be great if he just used time slow over and over. What's next? Nothing's next. Oh, okay. He fired me. Ah. Time slow's the best. Oh, I don't know what this is. I have never seen him do that before. You already used rolling cutter. It's not fair. Hey, I got him. That little purple laser attack, I was like all scared of it at first because I didn't know what it was, but whew. In the end, I'm glad he used it. Oh, it's a Halloween costume!
Wait a minute! I promised to be good. I'm a changed man.
Of course you are, Dr. Wily. I believe him for one. I mean, if he were lying, would he be repeatedly banging his nose into the ground like that? I submit that he would not, sir. Hey, I beat my old time. Sweet. Not that I care about that or anything, because I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it still sucks. Dr. Wily's a good guy again. In her giant floppy hat. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Mega Man Powered Up, and I think I pretty much said everything about the game that I can say. It's actually a really great game, and I've been looking for it for a long time. Like, I know you can go on Amazon or buy it, but I kept, like, every time I drove past GameStop, I would swing in and check out their used shelf, just on the off chance that they had a copy. And then they did. I was actually on vacation, and they had a copy in Cleveland, Ohio, of all places, so I bought it. It's like 15 bucks. And, like, the previous owner had not taken care of it, so it, like, didn't have the cover or anything for, the, like, the box art. But I figured I'll just print that out when I get home, and that's what I did. But okay, so a few days later, we traveled a bit south to Canton, Ohio, and that's when I actually got my PSP out and started to play it, and it didn't work! Freaking hell! It's like the disc was scratched or something and the game would not boot. Like, the PSP would not even recognize there was a UMD in the machine, because GameStop I guess they don't test their used games before they put them on the shelf for sale. They just don't care. So we had to call up a bunch of GameStops in Canton, and we finally found one that had another copy that would just trade it straight across. So, I mean, here's the thing though, they wouldn't give me, like, the copy they had good box art, but they wouldn't give me the box art. They just traded me the UMD straight across, which I thought was kind of crap, but It's GameStop, so what are you going to do? So that's the story about how I came into possession of Mega Man Powered Up. And now, if you'll excuse me, me and all my Robot Master friends are going to go and kill this bottle of Jack Daniels. Because Canadian whiskey is gross, and American whiskey is much better. Everybody, thank you for watching. I've been your friendly local Brick Road. Good night.